BRICS versus the dollar. The battle for global economic power. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications to never miss the real stories behind America's journey and future. This is Timeless America, where the past meets the present and power finds a voice. Once upon a time, the US dollar wasn't just money, it was destiny. It commanded oil, built empires, fed nations, and won wars without firing a single shot. But in the shadow of that power, a storm was brewing. From Sao Paulo to Shanghai, from Moscow to Mumbai, a whisper turned into a promise, and now into a roar, BRICS, and it's coming for the dollar. The rise and reign of the almighty dollar. In the aftermath of World War II, as nations lay in ruins and empires collapsed, one country stood tall, the United States of America. It wasn't just military might that positioned America as a superpower. It was economic dominance, anchored by one powerful tool, the US dollar. In 1944, at the Bretton Woods Conference, the dollar was anointed the world's reserve currency. It was a bold move, but it made sense. America had the gold. America had the factories. America had the trust of the war-weary world. From that point forward, international trade, debt, oil, and savings all revolved around the US dollar. Even today, more than 80% of global trade is conducted in dollars. Central banks across the globe hold dollars in their reserves. It became the ultimate symbol of global economic trust, but power breeds ambition and envy. And in the 21st century, the world began to ask, should one nation hold this much financial power? Enter BRICS, an alliance with global intentions, BRICS. It's not just an acronym, it's a strategy. Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, 5 nations, each with unique strengths and one shared vision, a world not ruled by the US dollar. They weren't born allies. Their histories, cultures, and political systems are vastly different. But they found common ground in resistance. Resistance to Western dominance, US financial control, and the rules written in Washington, China, the manufacturing superpower, is tired of parking its savings in US treasuries. Russia, sanctioned into economic isolation, is pushing for a world where SWIFT and dollars can't be used as weapons. India, ambitious and rising, sees a chance to balance East and West. Brazil and South Africa, rich in resources but poor in power, want leverage beyond the IMF and World Bank. Together, they're reshaping the chessboard. The dollar's strength and its vulnerabilities, the dollar is strong. But it's also fragile. Its dominance rests on 3 things. Trust, the belief that the US economy will always be stable and its debt always repaid. Utility, the fact that global trade requires dollars. Enforcement, the military, diplomatic and economic power the US uses to back the dollar's role. But what happens when countries stop trusting? When they stop using? When they start resisting? Sanctions, inflation, and political instability are shaking that trust. America's national debt has surpassed $34 trillion. Inflation is eating away the dollar's value at home, and political polarization is raising doubts about the future of its leadership. The BRICS currency, a new financial weapon? For years, BRICS talked about alternatives. But now they're building them, a BRICS development bank to rival the World Bank, a payment system to rival SWIFT, and most explosively, a new BRICS currency, possibly backed by gold and real commodities, not just political promises. This wouldn't just be symbolic. If oil starts being sold in BRICS currency, if trade routes shift away from the dollar, if global reserves diversify, America's grip will loosen. China has already started this shift. Over 20 countries now trade with China, using the yuan. Russia and China are trading oil in rubles and yuan. And nations like Saudi Arabia, Egypt, Argentina, and the UAE are expressing interest in joining BRICS. The dominoes are trembling. A world without the dollar. What would it look like? Let's imagine the future. You're an American family. Your dollar no longer holds the same weight. Foreign goods become more expensive. Imports drop. Inflation soars. Interest rates climb. Mortgages, car loans, student debt, they all cost more. International investors pull back. The stock market wobbles. The military budget shrinks. America, for the first time in modern history, must live within its means. That's not just economic pain. That's existential change. The dollar has allowed America to spend, borrow, and lead beyond its actual means. Remove that engine, and the country must reinvent itself, or risk decline. Why BRICS matters emotionally. To every American, this isn't just about charts and trade balances. It's about the soul of the nation. We've grown up believing in American exceptionalism, that the dollar was not just a currency, but a reflection of our strength, our stability, our values. Now, BRICS is challenging that narrative, and we have to ask, what does it mean to be an American in a world where we don't write the rules? It's a blow to our pride. It's a test of our adaptability. It's a wake-up call for a generation that's never known a world where America wasn't on top. This isn't the fall of Rome. But it could be our version of it, if we don't act. Can BRICS really pull it off? Let's not get ahead of ourselves. BRICS isn't perfect. China and India are rivals, not best friends. Russia is under crippling sanctions and has an uncertain economic future. South Africa struggles with domestic instability. Brazil's political landscape is often volatile. Coordination is difficult. Creating a stable joint currency is harder than announcing one. And dethroning the dollar requires more than ambition. It requires trust from the rest of the world. But make no mistake, every step BRICS takes is one step closer to ending dollar dominance. And even if the dollar isn't replaced overnight, its dominance is already being diluted. How should America respond? The answer isn't to panic, but to prepare. Step 1. Rebuild trust. America must stop using the dollar as a tool of control and start making it a bridge of cooperation again. Step 2. Invest at home. Infrastructure, innovation, education, real economic strength must back our financial system. Step 3. Lead by example. Reinforce democracy, stabilize politics, and become the reliable partner the world remembers, not the unpredictable power. They fear, if we fail to act, the world won't wait for us to catch up. The ticking clock, we are living in a historical moment. This is not just a financial shift, it's a geopolitical rebalancing. For the first time in a century, America's place as the central force in global economics is being openly challenged. We can look away, pretend it won't happen, or dismiss BRICS as a temporary trend. Or we can look inward. Find strength, not in dominance, but in resilience, in innovation, in unity. The final word, a new American chapter? BRICS is rising. That's undeniable. But what comes next isn't set in stone. America has reinvented itself before. From revolution to civil war, from depression to global superpower. And it can do so again. But this time, we can't win by force. We must win with wisdom. The dollar's fall isn't the end of America. It's the beginning of a choice. Will we cling to an old world or lead a new one? The pages of history are turning. BRICS is writing its chapter. But we, the people of timeless America, can write our own. If this story made you feel something, anger, pride, fear, hope, then you understand how real this is. Hit that like button. Subscribe to Timeless America